It was a single gesture. A tilt of a white baseball cap, a brief touch of the face. And in the chaos that followed, millions on the internet became convinced this was a signal, an inside job. That the man standing just feet away from Charlie Kirk wasn't just a bystander, but a conspirator. But what if I told you that man finally sat down and told his story? That, in his own words, he walks us, minute by minute, through what really happened at Utah Valley University, the shots that ended Charlie's life, and the conspiracy theories that nearly destroyed his own. Today, we dive into his testimony. Was he in contact with the shooter? Or was this all just another internet fabrication? To understand this, we have to start at the beginning, the day Charlie Kirk arrived at Utah Valley University. But before we dissect his every movement, we need to answer the question everyone online was asking. Who was this man? His name is Dr. Frank Turek. Some of you may already know him. He's not a security agent, not a government insider, not even a staff member hiding in plain sight. Frank is a Christian apologist, speaker, and author, best known for founding crossexamined.org, a ministry focused on defending the Christian faith. More importantly, Frank was a friend and mentor to Charlie Kirk. He had spoken at multiple TPUSA events, often appearing alongside Charlie, and on that fateful day at Utah Valley University, he was invited to sit right near the stage, close to his protege. So, when the internet zeroed in on his every gesture, the hat adjustment, the touch to his face, they weren't just scrutinizing a random bystander, they were putting the reputation of a respected Christian leader on trial. Now let's hear as he shares how he found himself at the center of this conspiracy.
Anyway, on our way in, we had drone footage of the crowd building. And Charlie had it on his phone. I said, Charlie, I don't like this place. There are too many buildings. Charlie just kind of brushed it off because, look, we have a security team, and he wasn't going to cancel an event. And as far as we knew, the university police were there, and they would scout out the place and put people in appropriate positions. I don't know any of the details on this now, but that was the thought anyway. So we get there, we pray, we get out of the car. There's a whole bunch of TPUSA leaders there that want to pose for pictures. Charlie graciously poses for pictures. So he posed for a picture with me, and we'll show this picture here. This is me, Charlie, and in the middle is Butch Hibbs. That's the brother of Jack Hibbs, Pastor Jack Hibbs. And he came to the event, wanted to meet us both, so we took a picture. This picture was taken maybe 20 minutes before the assassin struck. So we head right into the base of the amphitheater. Charlie's like, welcome to the big leagues. I mean, there are just people everywhere. We'll show you some footage here. I mean, they were everywhere. I've never seen a crowd so enthusiastic to see Charlie. So Charlie starts flipping these hats. You know, he's got the Make America Great Again hats, the 47 hats. And so I'm just kind of standing there, and someone on staff just hands me a row of hats. So I go, I guess I get to flip them too. So I'm flipping them all over the place. And people are just excited. They're chanting USA, USA. I mean, they just love Charlie. So I start FaceTiming my wife. I'm saying, look at this. This is incredible. Then I start FaceTiming my son and my daughter-in-law while Charlie sits down and begins to ask questions. Now, this is where you may have seen an internet conspiracy. The man in the white hat was giving signals to the shooter. Yeah, the man in the white hat was me, okay? I did this with my hat. Maybe I touched my nose or something while I'm holding my phone because I'm FaceTiming my son and daughter-in-law. And they're huge Charlie fans. So I'm maybe 30 feet from Charlie. I'm right off his right elbow. I'm standing probably just off camera if the camera's going forward on him. I'm maybe about his 3:30 or 4 o'clock. And I'm just filming away. And by the way, to show you how stupid this is, they thought Dan, his main security guy, was giving signals too. Signals for what? You don't need signals. There's a sniper up there. He doesn't need anyone to signal anything. He can look through his scope and see what's going on. We think he's looking through his scope and going, what's the signal? What am I? It's crazy that people actually believe this stuff. But, you know, if it's on the internet, it must be true, right? Don't believe in these crazy conspiracy theories. You need evidence. It's ridiculous. I didn't even know about it for probably 36 hours after the murder, or 30 hours after the murder. We were in a bubble. We were just paying attention to the family. We were just paying attention to the friends. Didn't go on the internet much. When I finally meet my wife back in Phoenix, she goes, there are millions of people who think you were in conspiracy to kill Charlie. I'm like, what? It's crazy. So thanks to my friends, Elisa Childers and Seth Dillon and others, they tried to clear the air on that. You still have people saying, oh yeah, we need to check into this guy and this other guy too, that security guy. It's ridiculous. So the first question, Charlie's presenting evidence for the gospel to a Mormon. That's one of the things that one of the questions that we had prepared for just before the event. And then he began to answer a question on trans violence. Someone was saying, oh, should we take guns away from trans people? Well, in light of what happened, the answer is yes. Because right about then, I hear this pop. It sounded like it was close. We later learned it was from over 100 yards away. And out of the corner of my eye, I see Charlie go back. And so I start to head toward Charlie, and I see that the security guys are already there. So then I duck thinking, okay, maybe there's other shots coming. And then I'm still on the phone. And my daughter-in-law told me these were the first words out of my mouth. No. So I went behind. There's like a backdrop. Charlie's sitting here. There's a backdrop. I'm over here. So I go behind because I know the security guys are taking him out the other side. So I'm running with them toward the car. And the phone is still on. And ladies and gentlemen, I was afraid that at some point this was going to happen. I thought that somebody would take a shot at Charlie. And I think maybe Charlie did at some point think so too, but he thought that the security was good. And his security team was good. But somebody way up there, whoever should have had that blew it. I don't know who that was. But I thought about what would I do? What would I do if that happened and I was there? Now, here's what Erica wants me to relate on Sunday. This is going to be the hard part, but maybe also the comforting part. Charlie Kirk was literally like a son to me. I have 3 sons. He was like my 4th son. My 3 sons are a little bit older than Charlie. He was like my 4th son. So when he was hit, if your son got hit, what would you do? What would you do? I got in the car. Because if there was any way I could save him, I had to do something. And I couldn't just take him. You guys got it. So they got him into the side of the car. It was an SUV. It was the SUV we took over. And I'm on one side, and there's actually some video of this. Somebody's taking video of this. I'm on one side of the car, the right side, and they're getting Charlie in. So I run over to the other side, but the guy was dragging him in. They start blocking that entrance. So at that point, I run around to the back. I pop the back gate open, and I jump in the back. The car lurches forward. Apparently, somebody jumped in the car. So the car lurches forward. So I almost fall out of the car, the SUV. Then I grab the thing and close it. And there's 5 of us in the car now. Justin is driving. Dan is up front with the GPS. Rick has got him. Rick's on my left, and Brian is there, and I'm coming over the back seat, and Charlie's laid out in front, just right in front of me. And Charlie's so tall, we can't close the door. We drove 4 miles, I don't know, it's 4 something miles, all the way to the hospital with the door open. To this day, I don't know how Brian stayed in the car, because we're just go. We're trying to stop the bleeding. You saw it. And I'm yelling, come on, Charlie, come on. Meanwhile, my phone is still on. My son and daughter-in-law are hearing this whole thing. And his security team, again, Justin, Dan, Brian, and Rick, they loved Charlie. But they were much cooler than I mean, they're just carrying out, they're calmly, but they're swiftly doing exactly what they were trained to do. Rick starts praying out loud. I'm praying out loud. We're yelling, come on, let's go. My son's hearing all this. And we're doing the best we can to navigate traffic. This is not a highway. We're on surface streets. And suddenly there's an ambulance coming toward us. And there was conversation in the car. Should we stop? We're like, no, just keep going. The doctor later said that was the right thing to do. Ambulance goes by us. We're still heading to the hospital, trying to get there. At one point, somebody says, let's get there in one piece because we're cutting through intersections. We're just beeping the horn. This is not an emergency vehicle. There's no lights. There's none of this. And I go, we got to start CPR. So I try and start that. Now, Charlie wasn't there. His eyes were fixed. He wasn't looking at me. He was looking past me right into eternity. He was with Jesus already. He was killed instantly and felt absolutely no pain. That's what I was told later. But of course, we had to try. And by the way, there was just nothing any of us could do about it. We were giving him CPR, but nothing was happening. It wasn't like if we had better first aid or we had better medical facilities or we were faster to the hospital, we could have saved him. We couldn't. So if that's any comfort at all, Charlie didn't suffer. He was gone. He was with Jesus, absent from the body, present with the Lord. That's where he was. Now, it is true, when we got to the hospital and they started working on him right away, they did get a pulse back. And so Rick and I were just, everyone's praying. We're just praying for a miracle. We had a small sliver of hope. And The doctor later said that we got a pulse because Charlie was a very healthy man, but the shot was catastrophic. So 20 or 30 minutes later, the surgeon came out and said he was dead. Now, first of all, the hospital staff and the law enforcement were amazing.
From the man's own words, the conspiracy is debunked. He wasn't signaling anyone. He was FaceTiming his family. His gesture was just him adjusting his hat and phone. He was right next to Charlie when the shot rang out and was one of the few who jumped into the SUV to try and save him. Doctors later confirmed Charlie died instantly. The supposed signals would have served no purpose anyway. So the internet theory, that he was in contact with the shooter, is exposed as a baseless fabrication born out of chaos and paranoia. The true takeaway is this. While the internet was busy looking for villains in hats, a man was grieving the death of someone he considered like a son. At the end of the day, the so-called signal was nothing more than a man on FaceTime, trying to share an unforgettable moment with his family. No codes, no conspiracies, just tragedy. But the internet will always find its villains, even when the evidence points the other way. And that's the danger of conspiracy thinking. It distracts us from the real story, and it robs grieving families of peace. This teaches us that in times of tragedy, we must resist the urge to chase conspiracy when compassion is needed most. That the truth is often simpler and more human than we want to believe. What do you think? Were conspiracy theorists too quick to judge? Or is there still more to uncover? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share this video to spread the truth, and if you want more deep dive reporting that separates fact from fiction, make sure you subscribe and join us on the next one.